make sure that we indeed do go live. Can you imagine doing this whole thing and then realizing that we were never live? That would be so embarrassing. It would be funny. It would be super funny.
It wouldn't be funny.
It would be funny.
Oh boy. Oh, there it is.
Yep. Look at you. You get a notification because you clicked the little bell, and everyone else should click the little bell too.
But wait, now it's gone.
We have one person watching. That might be you.
Oh, okay.
It's not you. Now there's a couple. Oh my gosh! It looks like you're launching a space shuttle over there.
Because I gotta put the glasses on.
Oh man!
I'm typing wrong here.
You kids see what happens when you get old. Yeah.
Where's our chats?
We got to get the chats.
Okay, so Fat Man Rants is live, and I'm sharing to the group.
Yes, that'd be great. Bum, bum,
All right.
Okay.
Hi, Lauren.
Perfect. We got this.
All right.
We got this. We're going. It's a very, very well prepared, very well thought out show tonight. Actually, this is going to be super cool. We're going to be making the easiest, best, of course, that's our opinion, dressing that you'll find anywhere on the internet. And I'll let everyone thinks we're super creative and super efficient, but the truth is, when we had the restaurant, we had to learn how to do stuff fast, easy, simple, because instead of making a couple cups of dressing, we made gallons of dressing, and these things compound. So we got recipes down to as quick and simple ingredients as we can. And we had healthy ingredients, and it had to be delicious enough that people came back and said, "Hey, can we get that on the side?" Which they did, by the way.
And hello, Joyce and Linda.
Joyce,
Haven't
I feel
seen
like
you in a while.
I feel like Joyce is part of our family. She's been in our kitchen more this weekend than we have been. So we had our membership cooking coach last night, and Joyce was there, and we made some really good food. And
Linda too.
And Linda was there, and we made some really good stuff. We made some breakfast sausage patties that are out of this world. I had some today. They're really good.
And sunflower biscuits.
Okay.
Yes.
We should first introduce ourselves and then ask people to tell us where they're from, because that's always super fun.
Yes.
Yes.
Hello, Claudia and Jen and Mary. Mary's from Michigan.
Yes.
All right.
Michigan has been just as cold as us, so we don't have to feel alone in this cold snap. So,
all right, go ahead.
Hello, everyone. Welcome. Good evening. I'm Tim Kaufman.
I'm Heather Kaufman.
And we run a page called Fat Man Rants. And together, we have lost 290 pounds. But honestly, that doesn't really matter. The important thing is we live a healthy, happy, and active life on a whole food, plant-exclusive lifestyle. We come to you guys on Sunday nights at 8 to show you maybe a little tips, maybe some advice, some things that have helped us along in our journey, because we know what happened to us is out there for anyone. And we also know that if we can do it,
you can too. Hello, Alicia.
So hello, everyone. Tell us where you're from. And we have so much to talk about tonight. But before we do that, we want to make this sunflower blueberry dressing. Yes. I also kind of screwed up with the sprouts. I'm going to show you how you start the sprouts. My goal was I was going to start microgreens with you and then show you the finished product. I ate the finished product because I forgot about you guys. So we got to regroup on that, but I'm going to show you how to start them. I'm going to basically tell you what the difference between microgreens and sprouts are, because we sprouted as well. I think microgreens have more nutrients, and I think they're a whole lot easier to make than sprouts. But all that said, let's go.
Get crack-a-lackin'.
We should get crack-a-lackin'.
Hello, Lori and Marie.
And if people could be super nice to us, they could share this too.
All right.
Do you want to run the mouse?
Yeah.
Just don't hit any buttons that you
okay.
shouldn't hit there.
Well, let's hope we do this right. It's the arrow, right?
The double-headed arrow.
All right. 1, 2, 3.
Okay.
Now.
Let's
try again. 1, 2, 3. There you are.
You were just warming up. So, can you see me?
Yes.
Is my head chopped off?
No.
Okay, it didn't matter anyways.
You just look like there's a big beam.
I'm getting beamed up again by the alien ship. Okay, so here's what's going to happen. We just literally, so there's typos. Let me do this so you can hear me. Sorry about that. We just typed this up on the website literally 5 minutes before we started because that's how prepared we are. We actually had a long day. We had a 6-hour race earlier. So we're a little beat up and hardly walking, but we're here for you guys. So if you go to the website, I just posted it. The link is in the description. It's the first recipe you come to on the site. It's called sunflower blueberry dressing. It's one of our favorites.
Vinaigrette.
Oh, vinaigrette. Yes. I don't even know what it's called, but it's one of our favorites.
Sunflower blueberry vinaigrette.
It's that. It's all that. So obviously we have some blueberries. These were frozen. This is a cup of blueberries. You can use fresh. I elected to use frozen that I just nuked in the microwave. I think every time I've ever done this, I've actually used frozen and not thawed them. But I thought it would be fun and give me more possibilities to stain my clothes if I thawed them out first. So there is my frozen to thawed blueberries.
Hi, Judy.
The next thing I have 5 medjool dates. Obviously, they're pitted. These dates were super soft, but just for fun, I put about, I don't know, a tablespoon of water in here. Put these in the microwave, soften them up. It's a little easier on my blender. So I have some blueberries, 5 dates, a couple blueberries, 5 dates. Then I have my sunflower seeds, which Heather, we said was a half a cup. It's a half a cup. I can see it, I promise. Half a cup. You want to use raw and unsalted sunflower seeds.
Hello, Linda and Marlene.
Then we're going to put a 1/4 cup, which I don't see a 1/4 cup out here. The producer never got it out. So we're going to take the half a cup and we're going to do half of the half, which gives us a 1/4 cup of apple cider vinegar. And then you can play around with the spices. I used to add a whole bunch of spices to this. I found that the onion powder gives it that nice little pop. You certainly can use garlic. We used to use fresh garlic cloves in here. Sometimes I like black pepper in here. Sometimes when Heather will let me, I'll even put a pinch of red pepper and you get that sour with that little hit of heat at the end. So I have 2 teaspoons of onion powder. And then the last thing I have to do is put a 1.5 cups of water into this, which yes, my water somehow expanded. I apologize.
Hi, Joe and Lynn. They're here tonight as well. Oh
my goodness, it's like a recap of yesterday. Okay, so real quick, in case you're just joining us, I have a cup of blueberries. I have a 1/2 cup of sunflower seeds. I have 5 pitted dates softened. And then I have 2 teaspoons of onion powder with a 1.5 cups of water. And I think, and vinegar. Yes. A 1/4 cup of apple cider vinegar. Good catch. And I'm going to put this all in the blender. If you don't have a high-speed blender on this, I think you could still get away with it. Again, even though we have a Vitamix, I prefer the NutriBullet. One of the cool things about the NutriBullet is after you blend it, they have caps and stuff for this, and little pouring things. We tend to put this in a pint mason jar. And the reason for that is because it will separate, because there's no chemical stuff in there to keep it mixed. So when you get it out from the fridge, you just give it a shake and put it on your salad or potatoes or whatever you want. So I'm going to blend this up super fast. And it's going to be super loud. I apologize for that. How are we going to display this? Okay, sorry for all the noise, but between the dates and the sunflower seeds, we really got to mix this up good. So, whoo, this is going to make a mess. I already know it. It's okay. So it's a thick dressing, and I hope you guys can see when I pour it. It's a nice, creamy, thick dressing. Now, I can tell you a little thing about sunflower seeds. Over time, they tend to thicken up. So tomorrow when we use this, it's another advantage of keeping it in the blender bottle. Tomorrow we might need to thin this out with a little bit of water, but look how beautiful this stuff is. And
back up a little bit.
How's that look?
Good.
Okay, it's a beautiful color. It tastes delicious. It has just the right amount of sweet and sour. I love this stuff, and you can see we made it in less than 2 minutes. It's so stinking easy. If you want it on the thinner side, put a little extra water in there. If you want it thicker, well, I don't know if you'd want it any thicker than this, but you can lessen the water. So that is the great dressing. Now, here's a pro tip. You can do exactly what we just did. Should we tell them? With virtually any fruit, okay? So you could, whatever you want in here, you could do peaches, and you could call it a sunflower peach dressing. You could use mangoes, are delicious. We've used strawberries before. This, by the way, is lovely. And hopefully, if the snow ever stops here, in the next couple weeks, we should be getting fresh strawberries. And I can tell you the strawberry, this sounds weird, but just go with it. The strawberry vinaigrette is great on strawberries. It sounds weird, but that sweet and tangy, it's all such a really good thing. And especially, we'll start making strawberry bowls. We'll start with greens. We'll probably have cold rice and then a whole bunch of strawberries, other fruit, and then we just drizzle this stuff on them. And it's a great summer dish as well for cold rice on salads. Just a few options.
Quinoa too.
And cold quinoa. You don't have to have it cold, but it just is so refreshing and so summery. We only get like 2 days of summer here, so we got to take advantage of it. Okay, next thing I want to show you. People have been asking about this, and I just wanted to show you real quickly how I do my microgreens. Now, I have to be honest with you.
Hold on one second.
Okay.
Hi, Lori. Week 2 of eating plant-based only. Awesome.
Boom.
Great.
Boom. That's awesome, Lori. Now I lost my train of thought. No, it's all good. It is important. That's super good, Lori. Awesome. So we have a very good friend whose name is, oh my goodness.
For what?
Microgreens.
Bonnie.
Yeah, I had Bonnie, and then I switched to Lori, and I couldn't get back to Bonnie. So our very dear friend Bonnie was a microgreens expert. She has now moved on from the business. So she showed us a lot of the stuff. She taught us a lot of classes and stuff. So I'm going to go through this really fast. This will only take a second. You can get any of these things you see. You can get on Amazon. I buy these seeds. I forgot what company they're from, but I can tell you the next time we're on. But I just love these little 4x4 things. I think they're the perfect size for me. I get 2 of these going. One I'm just starting, one that I shouldn't have eaten. And I just keep kind of cycling through them. So first of all, what is the difference between sprouts and microgreens? I'm glad you asked. So sprouts you'll put in some kind of a plastic jar or a mason jar with holes. You wet them and you let them sprout, and they actually just stay in the jar. Microgreens are a little different. It's the second stage of the plant, so they'll actually set roots. And I don't want to lie about the numbers. I might be exaggerating, but it's some crazy number, like 1 tablespoon of broccoli sprouts has 10 times the nutrients as normal broccoli. So they're very nutritious, and it makes sense when the seed is just starting out. It has to have all that energy to pop through the ground and do its thing. It kind of makes sense that they're very nutritious. All that said, I don't have the whole row out, but I get this product. You can use potting soil, or you can use coconut husk mats. This is called jute mat, a grow mat. So if you go on Amazon and type in grow mat, this is JUTE, and I'll hold it up. It's like fibers that are.
It almost looks like a piece of thick felt.
Yeah, it looks like felt, and I would assume jute is the same stuff they make the garden twine. So it's totally decomposable. It's an organic material, and I cut it the same size as this gray little 4-inch tray, and there's holes in here. And then I use 2 of these, and I'll show you why in a second. So all I do for this is I have these organic broccoli, and they're actually sprouting seeds, even though we're making microgreens. I tend to think about a teaspoon and a half is about what I like. Any more than that, I feel like they get too crowded. So that's all I did was a teaspoon and a half. I zipped these up because I've spilled these before and they're a freaking mess. And then the next thing I do, which I forgot to get out, is my handy dandy little spray bottle. And all I do is give these I soak them down good. This is so easy, guys. And then I just take a lid, put that on there. This is all it is. This is all it is. I wonder if I could show you without spilling them everywhere. That this is all it looks like. It's so.
Yeah, there you go.
I'm gonna spill them if I tip them more. But so all I do, I have a tray underneath, okay, and then I just put a cover on it. And then every day I get home from work, I just hit it with this again and cover it up. In about 3 days, you'll see the sprouts start coming out. Then I uncover it. I transfer this to the bottom, and I just leave it on top of the fridge. Now, in a really sunny day, sometimes I'll sneak it by the sink quick, and when they get that sunlight, man, they really pop up. But in about 5, 6, 7 days, these are ready to put on salads. And it's that easy. It takes you 30 seconds once you get a good rhythm going to get them set up. What I like about doing it this way, I'm not growing racks and trays and hundreds of these. I can keep it small, keep it simple, and they're delicious. They really are. And play around with different seeds. The kale is great. Radish is great. What's other favorite ones? We love the sunflowers. I forget, but some of the arugula, believe it or not, some of the green leafies are really hot too. So that is microgreens, not to be confused with sprouts. Did we do a good job?
Yes.
Okay, flip us back.
All right, flip us back. I gotta. Ah, I did it. I'm back, and you're not.
I'm not. Okay.
And Joe said this dressing looks wonderful. Got to try. Lori says she has to try it. All right. And the microgreens Lori likes.
Yeah.
Idea.
So the microgreens, I'm not going to eat. Well, I'll make a couple of these and I won't eat them. You know, yeah, my mentality is everything has to go big or go home. And we started that with these microgreens, and we were going to practically start a farm with them. And I just love small. And that's why I like the fermenting the way we do it. It's very small scale. Mm-hmm. It's easy to manage, easy to.
We keep things
small. Unless they're miles, and that's the next thing we have to talk about. So you did
miles for miles.
You did a little running today.
A little bit.
I heard.
A little bit.
Well, we both kind of did.
Well, we were there together.
Yeah.
So you saw.
Yeah. And, you know, I was out there thinking I haven't been that distance in a while. So I ended up getting 19 miles in. And what did you get in? 22 miles. So it was a long mileage. And it's been a bit from all these injuries I've had. And I remember why I love the endurance world so much, because it literally mimics real life. Did you ever notice that?
Yeah.
You just run and you run happy. But did you
No,
have
no.
any tough times today?
Yep. Yep, I
Yeah,
did.
yeah.
Yeah.
And it happens. And
Yep.
sometimes it happens
I was thinking
early.
it was going to be all right. This is going to be ending as soon as I get back there. And I thought, as I kept going along, just a little bit more, I'd pick a tree out, I'd pick a sign out, and I'd just get to that sign, then get to the next one, then get to the next one.
Okay, so that in itself is a really good lesson, right? In
Mhm.
life, like, so you're picking, landmarks to get to. And I think that is so beautifully related to life. Sometimes we get freaked out by all the things, whether it's finances or education or relationship or food or lifestyle, whatever it is.
Family, anything.
We have this huge thing in 22, 23, how many miles?
22.
22 miles is crazy. Like, it sounds crazy, but you split it up by telephone poles or landmarks or trees.
Mm-hmm.
And if you do that enough times, it's not really that crazy. And I think the key here is to be in the moment that you're in. Because if you start thinking about mile 18 when you're on mile 6, it's overwhelming.
Yes. Yes. Mm-hmm.
And so that's a takeaway that I wasn't prepared to talk about, but that's a great takeaway that you come up with. And there's so many things like that in the world of endurance. And, for me, I thought, oh, this is going to be not easy. I knew it was going to be tough, but, I had run like a half marathon the week before. So, what's another 6 miles? But you have some times where you want to give up.
Mm-hmm.
And you're just like, what am I doing? You're out there by choice.
Yep.
You're suffering. And all you got to do is say, I'm out. And I think that's another lesson. I don't want to get emotional on this one, but there's a lot of people that go through a lot of pain and a lot of things that they don't want to go through. They don't have the ability to just put their hand up and tap out.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's something we should be very grateful for when we go out for a run, that we have that ability to just say, I'm out, get me out of this fire. To remember the people that don't have that choice
Mm-hmm.
to just put their hand up and say, I don't want any more chemo or whatever. So that's another great lesson. The last lesson, actually, the only lesson that I really wanted to talk about was this idea of bad times. The idea that, like, oh man, everything hurts. There's no way I can finish this. It's overwhelming. It's too much. But if you keep going, have you ever noticed that sometimes you get through that?
Yes. And then your mind shifts a little bit too.
Yeah.
Then you start talking positive to yourself. Look how far I came. I can do this. I can keep going. I can get to where I need to get to.
Right. Until
You hit
you're
a
right
little
back in
bump,
it.
but then you have to push through again.
Yeah.
And you have to say, I can do this, no matter what it is in life.
Yeah. And I think that is so amazing to pull that away from endurance training, that, life is going to suck sometimes, and it's not going to be, and it's these little curveballs that get thrown,
Mm-hmm.
maybe there's a few little hills in the course that didn't plan, or maybe the wind's blowing and it's 30 degrees out and you didn't know how to dress, and there's all these things, or maybe you drop your fuel on the ground, there's all these things that get in the way, in endurance and in life. But the beautiful things, that some kind can take us out of the slump, are the people that we are familiar with that wave.
Mm-hmm.
Good job.
Yep.
Keep going.
And the same thing with life. When you're hitting hard times, those people that are there for you to encourage you and to help you get through life and your difficulties, whether it's family, friends, illness, whatever, that those people that are there to encourage you.
Yeah. Or a perfect stranger
going.
that just says, hey, way to go.
Smile.
Yeah. So I think the key takeaway that I wanted to share today, that I was reminded again, and I haven't been in these distances in a while, is that when it gets really tough, just keep going.
Mm-hmm.
Because you'll never get to the other side unless you keep going, and realize that these things are temporary. and that, we came home we came home and we looked like we escaped from the nursing home to get back in the house. It was awful. We sat in the car for about 35 minutes, but we seized up. And
I was thankful for the bar coming in the house.
yeah, I was looking for a walker or something, but we were hurting. But within an hour, it's like, okay, I mean, I'm sore, but and I think the real takeaway is that you got to keep going. Life is going to be tough. It's not all going to be, sunshine and rainbows, as
Right.
Rocky says, but you just got to keep moving forward, and eventually you'll get out to the other side.
And even if things are rough and it seems like day after day things are rough and things aren't changing, you just got to look for those little things in the day that make you smile, or those little moments or milestones that are there for that day. And you might get back to the same thing the next day, but look again during that day for those special little moments.
Yeah, become an expert at finding gratitude and mini celebrations. And it really, that perspective can change your whole life. So we will stop ranting now about
I ranted a little with you today.
You
so
did.
I guess I am Mrs.
It's just it was painful today, but it was very refreshing to get back to what I love with the endurance, and just the correlation of grinding out those miles. It just took me back to all the lessons that endurance sports have taught me, and I'm super grateful for them. I mean, I got to tell you, I wouldn't say half as fast. I'm definitely not as fast as I used to, but man, do I enjoy being out there and just being grateful for every step, even when you're stepping on blisters, because it could be a lot worse. So
yes.
Yeah. With that said, if you're just joining us, we just made some lovely
sunflower blueberry vinaigrette.
Sunflower blueberry vinaigrette was basically sunflower seeds, blueberries, some dates, apple cider vinegar, and some spices. Boom, blend it up, and you're good to go. You can find the recipe at fatmanrants.com. And we just talked a little bit about the difference between sprouts and microgreens, and how stinking easy microgreens. And I'll tell you, they make a big difference when you're putting them on your salads.
Yes.
It doesn't take a lot, just a pinch on your salads or your sandwich, or
as long as you get to have some too.
Oh, cilantro. Cilantro is another great microgreen, because man, does that jack up the flavor into your, especially rice and stuff. So there you go. We hope you guys enjoyed it.
Yeah.
You think? If you did, if you could give it a share, because Facebook doesn't like us anymore and they don't promote our stuff. I don't know if they don't like us or that we
They're
don't
just picky about sharing stuff.
Yeah, we don't get as much visibility as we used to back in the old days. But if you guys could share it, where do we buy seeds from? Cindy, I promise you I will look that up and tell you, because it's a really cool company. I just totally forgot the name.
Aww.
But I will find out. Where I want to do a bigger one of these where I'm going to have a whole bunch of them grown and not eat them, and we'll come back and do it. We'll do this proper.
All right, sounds good.
And we'll just focus on microgreens.
All right.
Okay.
Good idea.
With that said, you guys have a fantastic week, and please don't forget, when life gets tough, when things get challenging, when you get a curveball or a detour or even a closed road, you gotta just keep going, because you'll get to the other side eventually. I promise you, the way to lose is to stop. You gotta keep going, one foot in front of the other. Even if you're going slow, just keep moving and you'll get out the other side. Until next time,
eat plants,
move your body.
All you got to do is a little more than you did yesterday, and look for those special moments each day.
Yes, search for them. Be a treasure hunter.
Bye-bye.